Hello guys, and welcome to the channel. At Modern Masters Auto, we like to build AMGs, we like to work on pretty much anything with wheels and can possibly go fast. But in this channel, we want to go from showing you some DIY things to just really enjoying some client cars we're building, and sometimes just seeing how much power we can get out of these cars. But let's see what we have in store for you today. All right, we have a 2005 CL55, and today we have Rusty, who's already started. We are going to replace the factory crank pulley with a VRP Innovators West billet crank pulley. So we're going to have to remove the old crank pulley with the timing set at 40 degrees. We will have to drill the crank for 3 different dowel rods to go into the crank for the new pulley, and we will have to put a 40-degree mark on the billet crank pulley so that, you know, whoever works on it next can find the 40-degree mark. This is a very important part. You do not want to not put the 40-degree mark and not help them out. So stay tuned. So we have your average run-of-the-mill CL55. Just kidding, it's a Whipple CL55. So we're gonna change some of these pulleys out later, but today we're focusing on that bad boy right there. And as you can see, it is at the 40-degree mark, and you go by this little line back on the block. So it is, depending on which way you look at it, perfectly at 40 degrees. Good job, Rusty. So we're gonna remove that old rusty, no offense, rubber harmonic balancer. And what do you got over here, Rusty?
A not so rusty billet balancer.
Ooh, let's look. Ooh, and we got some tools. New crank seal. Here's the part number for you guys doing the crank seal at the same time. You can pause the video and write that down. And it comes with a pretend install guide, some lubrication, a keyway, and 1, 2, 3 dowels that will go inside here. All right, let's get started. All right, we're going to remove the crank pulley, and the hard part was done earlier, but we're just popping it off. Not really that messy, but we're going to clean this up, replace this seal with the new one, and then start to drill. Oh, nice technique.
Thanks.
Isn't there a tool for that?
Yeah, I lost it.
Alex would have used a wood screw.
So we have an addiction to a dielectric grease around here, and we put it on everything. This helps everything go in smoother, lubricate it, seal it, protect it from drying out. Good stuff. Sometimes I'll put it on cuts, you know, help seal them up there and disinfect it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And you just clean that off later with our legit street cars wipes.
Yeah. And what I like to do, since I'm getting older and I don't see too good, I like to take a marker and just line up where the keyway is. It's a lot easier to do this once the seal is out. You just line it up so you can see the hole at the end, because once the seal's in there, you're not going to be able to see that keyway down in that hole. And then I'll also grab the new pulley. You find the keyway there, and if you just mark that and then follow that up and around, you just line up the red with the red, and it makes it much easier to slide that pulley on there, because it is a press fit and you don't have to fight it as much because it has to line up perfectly in that keyway.
And guys, you'll be able to get this billet pulley from VRP. We'll put a link down below, vrpspeed.com. This thing is just amazing. I have it on all my daily driven and race car 55 cars. It's just so reliable. It really keeps the harmonics down. And the whole point of it is it's modular. So you'll be able to change the supercharger ring from, let's say, a stock 154 millimeter pulley or all the way up to 195, where you can really spin some boost out of it, or just make a larger supercharger pulley. That way you have less chance of belt slip, because you get to run a larger pulley on the supercharger. So there's a ton of reasons why to switch to these things. I'm soon going to be installing one on my 63 when we go with the dual belt setup for that supercharger, because we just want to go all out. So this is a good product, vrpspeed.com.
We're going to put this part in before we install the pulley.
Oh, what do you got going on there, Rusty? What is this?
Oh, that's a big ass socket. It actually is the same socket you use to change the oil filter housing gasket. But
What size is it?
Pretty big, 46 millimeter.
46 millimeter. Wow.
And it just happens to also fit this new seal perfectly. You just line up the two red lines, and you wiggle it on back.
So you just got to wiggle it.
A little bit of wiggling going on, yeah. Sometimes you get into the light, just eye it up. Make sure it's all going smoothly. I think I am going to heat it, actually.
I'll give it a little bit of extra clearance. All right, we're going to pull her off and give her some heat. So as Rusty said, we're going to heat up around the outside of the collar there, and it's going to expand it so it fits on a lot easier without having to really force it on. I will say that this has been in the shop today. It's only been like 45, 50 degrees most of the day. So it's going to be colder than if it was like in a room temperature garage. So we're just going to warm it up. Nothing too crazy, just a little bit of heat will make this work. Look at that. Just wiggle her on really good like.
Alright.
Nice. Cool.
So the kit comes with all these different pieces. I'll go ahead and explain everything for you. So the main benefit of this kit, there's two things. One, you can run that larger outer diameter pulley for more boost. And another good benefit is the factory pulley is a two-piece with rubber on the inside, and that rubber splits, and then your pulley's going apart and it busts everything up and makes a big mess. So this is really solid. And then it actually comes with a pinning kit. So for extra strength, you're not relying on just that little itty-bitty dowel in there. You also have this dowel here that connects the two pieces together, and we're going to be drilling the crank. So it has pins that go in these holes and goes into the crank, so it holds this still. So you have this keyway holding it still, the pins, as well as a factory dowel holding it solid. So it's a much better improvement. So it comes with these, and you assemble it like this. So this is going to go in first into the crank gear itself. We will drill these for the pins. You have a spacer here and this outer washer with this little lip that faces on the outside, and then this bolt. And I'll show everything again when I install it, the lubrication and the torquing and everything.
Up in there. Again, nothing is permanent. We're just putting it to where it needs to go all the way back in and line up with the other pulleys. It doesn't take much to fully seat it. If for some reason it's not easily seating back there and there's tension, pull it all apart right away. You might have the keyway bound up or the keyway misaligned, but it should, with just a barely a turn of the wrench, just suck up to the block.
And before we go to torquing anything, because whenever you torque it, the pulley's going to move back and forth. If you would not mark a line where the 40-degree mark is on here, you would never be able to find it again unless you pull the valve covers and put the timing tools on. It's a pain. So just in case, you know, if you have problems down the road, let's say this guy takes his car to another shop, which I don't recommend, I'm going to put a 40-degree mark on here so that anyone can work on it and time this engine.
You're such a swell guy. Watch your face so we can watch. There we go. Yeah, right about there.
Thanks.
All right, you can see that the 40 and the dash. The 40, I put some red in there so it makes it a little clearer to see. Perfect.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put in this first piece. You need to line it up with the keyway and slide it the whole way to the back. And then also what I've done is, here's one of the pins that I'm going to be drilling depth for. So I went ahead and marked the drill bit with some white paint so I know when to stop, because I don't want to go too deep.
spread eagle right now. Look at him. Rusty, can we get a smile? Look at that. Look at this. Rusty's dad got him this little portable briefcase shop vac that runs off our Milwaukee batteries we use. And we're going to clean out the crank shavings with his Christmas present. Tell your dad I said thank you. Nice. Do you take it to the white mark or do you give her a little love?
I gave her just a little skosh more.
That's what I like to do. Just a little bit so it really sinks it in there. And then when the heat expands the metal and the rod, it has room to grow. Just like a beautiful flower.
Yeah, we're
like a bald spot. If it was smaller one day and it got bigger the next.
We're growers around here.
But look at this. I went ahead and dielectric greased this for you. So you can go and actually I'll do it. I'll do the honors just to test your work. How well you did it. Well, don't fit it all. Just kidding. It's going. It's going. Oh, look at that. Like a glove. All right, round 2. Fight. And while Rusty does that, we are going to find, hopefully, a green belt. Oh, what is this right here? Random. Actually, that's for a 63. We'll leave that there. Let's see what else we got. Here we go. And I think, nope, that's a rib. Winner chicken dinner. That is not it either. I think it's somewhere in here. K060970HD. I will put a link down below, but the HD belt should be K060970HD, which I do not see. We will have to keep looking. There is the ML63 that was mentioned on Alex's channel. That is mine. We think the issue is just one cylinder. We fixed a bunch of other stuff, timing and whatnot, but we think the main issue is one cylinder of valve stem seals. So we're gonna give that a shot, and then if not, the motor's gonna have to come out. But we'll see. That's next week. This week, where are you at, Rusty?
I put the pin in without you.
You put the pin in without me? Well, without us, me and the viewers. So pin 2 is done.
Pin 2 is done.
All right, we're gonna do the last hole, put some more lube on there. And then if whoever's drilling just starts to run out of energy, you just wanna get behind them and just really help push it in for that last little bit. And that'll really just sink that drill. You good? You got it? All right, we got the third one drilled out there. Look at that. That is looking awesome. He's got the third and final pin going in.
Still gotta seat it.
Most of the way he's gonna seat it in there. But that's what it's gonna look like. And then you'll be able to see that it is at 40 degrees. And before you install the billet harmonic balancer, you want to go ahead and lock the tensioner back with either a piece of metal or a drill bit. Works perfectly fine. Rusty does that every time. And actually, this is a drill bit from one of these kits that is used. So he now uses it to keep the tensioners locked back, which is kind of cool.
Okay, so the kit comes with this extreme pressure lube. So basically just keeps everything rotating when you're trying to torque to anything high pressure. So I like to put it anywhere metal is going to be touching metal. You apply that, and I also put it on here just so.
What is this fabulous stuff?
Lube.
Nice. What kind of lube?
It is extreme pressure lube.
Oh, nice.
Number 3, if that helps you.
Oh, yeah.
So anywhere that things will be sliding around and all that, we put it on there. Put this on here like so. Get it nice and lubricated. And I put just a little bit on this
the nylon bushing. Nice.
And then put this together. Now I'm going to use my fresh, appropriate Whipple Molly rag. Clean it off of the end, and on the end, I put Loctite on there. The instructions don't say to, but we're a little extra around here, and we do not want this coming off of there. So put a little red. You might get a little better than that. You get a finger, maybe a couple of happy little trees.
Oh, razzle dazzles.
Yeah, some happy little trees in there. A couple happy little accidents.
Ooh.
And then we're going to install that.
All right.
Alright, so we're going to thread that in there. And now it's time to torque that bolt.
Luckily, you can use the bolts that are threaded in. They're almost bottomed out for the modular crank ring, and you can use them to lock in and support the crank while he tightens it up. All right, so I'm going to use the pry bar and the modular crank ring bolts, and he's going to tighten it. We torque this down to 165 foot-pounds. This does not get torqued like the factory bolt, as it is not a stretch bolt. All right,
A little more. There you go.
All right, guys, we hope you liked this video. We're gonna try to do some more of these DIY videos along with some other great things. So if you could, give us a like, a share, a follow, all that other stuff that Alex says at the end of his videos, because that's who I'm learning from. Do all of that, do that to his channel. Legit Street Cars, that's what started it all for us. Being behind the camera, behind the scenes. We love this stuff. We wanna show you guys what we're doing. It makes our job a little bit more fun. So, spices it up. So again, give us a like, share, a follow, and as always, leave a comment about Rusty in the comments. Testing, testing, testing. Ah! Here at Modern Masters, we plan to help you learn about damn. What are you doing, Rusty?
Oh, pumping up this fresh marker.
Look at that.
Just got it for Christmas.
And this episode is brought to you by Rogaine. You should have saw it a week ago. It was way worse.
Yeah. Slide it this pulley and slide it the whole way to the back.
It's shining today. That little crank ball.
Yeah. Thing rotating when you're trying to torque to anything high pressure. So I like to put it anywhere.
Are you f***ing me?
What?
You said at every pulse.
But it's just how it's gonna be. I've been doing it for 30 years.
Okay, continue.
All right.